Welcome to this video in which I'm going to be talking about the IIM Calcutta PGPEx program. This is the one-year executive MBA program. So in case you're applying this year, make sure you watch this video till the end. Alright, so let's look at the course itself. So the PGPEx is the executive MBA that they have bought for people who have, if you look at the experience level, they say you should have at least 5 years of full-time post graduate qualification in a managerial professional experience as of March 31st, 2021. So if you have full-time experience, see, when they say managerial / professional, basically it is full-time experience where you are paid, right? In other words, that's what it means. And your GMAT score in the last 3 years. So if you have that and the bachelor's degree, so these are the basic eligibility criteria they have. Also, you need to be submitting the GMAT scores. Now, with regards to your work experience, they have actually asked in the application, if you see there is a lot of detailing, it says please provide chronological details of your work experience starting with the current job first in the application, right? And if you're applied for more than 5 companies, add this and upload the files with relevant details. So they have given you enough information over there. So make sure that you give the details over there. Coming specifically, there are the SOP and then there is one letter of recommendation. So first let me start with the statement of purpose. So it says this should include an objective and clear statement on why you want to join the MBAEx program. What qualities, experience and achievements do you have to justify your admission? What types of jobs and at what level do you expect after successful completion of MBAEx? So this is a 500 word limit. Now, I know there are multiple questions over here. Don't try to look at these questions like this. I'll give you a framework. The framework, according to me, would be split into 3 parts. What are the 3 parts? The first part is you need to be telling, okay, what is it that you have done so far? That is part number 1. What is it that you have done so far in your life? And when you say what you have done, this is qualities, experience and achievements. Do you have to justify your admission? So that's the, your pitch, correct? A good 150 to 200 words, you need to say what transferable skills do you bring to the table? What have you learned? What makes you a professional, correct? It should not be a repetition of your resume or your CV, but it should give them a sense of how you have grown as a person. Okay, that's going to be part 1. Part 2. Now that you have done whatever you have done in your life, at this juncture, maybe precipitated by what's happening in the world around you, post-COVID, maybe your industry has changed. You have reached a particular career juncture where you are looking ahead and you're thinking, what is it that I really want to do, right? What is my post-MBA goal? What is my long-term vision of where I see my career headed? I would like to know your insights, your idea of what is it going to take for you to tick in the future, right? So you need to make sure that in part 2, you are able to address that part. The third part C. Now that you told me where you have come and where you are headed, I'm also interested to know very specifically why this particular program is going to help you. Right? So if I were to give specific things, you are already perhaps a mid-career professional, maybe you have 8 to 10 years experience. So you should be able to say, well, I am someone who has a deep understanding of technology, and it is not just about, coding or programming, but it's about your ability to look at the world through the lens of technology, right? So your experiences, how you've worked with products, how you've seen consumer tech impact lives. So I'm going to hear that story. Then you want to say, well, I've already worked in the tech part and I have worked on products, but I want to be a full-fledged product manager, correct? They love product managers who have a strong technical background, correct? But what they feel, a product manager who's purely technical, is they may feel that he may not have a sense of how businesses are run. So what happens now is you say, well, the best way for me to kind of fill in this particular gap is going to be by doing a program at IIM Calcutta, correct? Now, when you start discussing about the program, you need to tell in that vision of the future that you just described, what would be the skill sets that you need to have? What are the tools you need to have? What is the ammo that you need to have, correct? So if you are able to tell how you are going to derive that, for example, a very important thing for you could be that as a product manager, it is very important for you to look at a problem from various angles, right? So you could talk about, let's say, a particular exercise at IIM Calcutta during the coursework where you would like to work in a diverse team. Is that something that you want to look, that you want to do during your 1 year at IIM Calcutta, correct? Where you are working on a project where there is a finance guy, there is a person from HR, there is a person who has, let's say, a military background, and all of them are looking at the same problem. As a product manager, this is a great way for you to develop empathy, correct? Maybe that's your requirement. Or it could be simply that you know that as a product manager, tomorrow you want to start up something on your own. And you know that, your network sometimes is your net worth, right? So especially when you're starting off, maybe that's your requirement. So these are the things that make a SOP very specific to you. So one thing that I would request for you is look at your SOP, and if there is any statement where you say anybody could have written it, then there is a problem. For example, if you're going to say IIM Calcutta enjoys a long, legacy of, building these world-class leaders, blah, blah, blah. Sure, they already know it, correct? So don't tell them what they already know. Tell them something that you think is unique to you, right? Because it's your SOP. So you need to tell what is unique, because at the end of the day, it's your SOP, correct? So that's what I would say about 150, 200 words for your intro, 150, 200 words for your future, and 150, 200 words for why the particular program. That's how I would construct the 500 words. Now, coming to the letter of recommendation, there is just one letter of recommendation. I just want to kind of they say, please describe the particular talents, strengths and weaknesses of the applicant. If you have worked with the applicant on any type of special project, please give an evaluation of his or her performance, right? So that's one question. Then they also have a question which says, please indicate any favorable, unfavorable indications of the applicant's leadership potential and his or her ability to work independently. So the first is strength, weakness. The second one is your ability to, work independently, your sense of how much of leadership potential you have shown, and additional information as required. One thing that I would say is pick a recommender who has worked very closely with you. Yes, it has to be in some kind of a supervisory position, someone who's a senior colleague, or it could even be a client, could be a business partner, could be someone with whom you have worked with in a professional capacity. That's really the crux over here. So IIM Calcutta is going to basically look at your application form, your SOP, your LOR, and based on that, they extend calls for the interview. So there are 3 rounds. I would suggest maybe, all things being equal, maybe apply as early as possible. Having said that, for most Indian schools, I believe all 3 rounds, if you are able to put in a good application, you should be able to get through. We have worked with a lot of students who have applied to this program in the past, and we have successfully helped them apply. We also have a lot of mentors who are alums from this program who work one-on-one on helping you craft your story, on just being a sounding board with regards to your career plans. So in case you are interested to know how we can help and maybe share some insights about the school, why don't you let us know? The details are provided over here. And if you have any questions about this program, you can also leave a comment. We will make sure that we answer your question. And like this video in case you found this content meaningful, in case I was able to help you. Please do subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of essay analysis coming up for you. All the best for your application.